Yeah. Jackson. Yeah. Bounce. Yeah. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Hellcase Cup. We are getting into the sort of mid to late stages now of this sort of, well, the group stage at least, and well, obviously it's fairly important because there's the two different stages. The groups are massive, plenty of teams currently sitting in them, and you sort of have to look at it in a way where if you finish, I think it's first and second, you actually skip a stage of the playoffs. So it is actually pretty important where you finish in the group. I think 3 to 6, then play that other stage against the other teams from group A or B, depending which group you were in originally. And it all becomes very confusing, and then I leave the maths to somebody else who actually knows what they're doing and isn't just a complete buffoon like me. So everything should be worked out. I'm sure the guys at Starladder are pretty good at their maths, and I hope so at least. But we are going into our knife round. We got T.S.Academy versus EPG, who have actually kindly now told me what their name stands for, which is Elements Pro Gaming. I did not know that before. I'm not something I was particularly wanting to know, but hey, it's additional information is additional information, so that's something. I'm probably still going to call them EPG unless I make a mistake and forget. But yeah, we are going to be going into this matchup. I think it should be fairly even. The problem I have is we obviously watched T.S.Academy play, what was it, a few days ago now? And they played on this map versus Binary Dragons, and they lost 16-1. It wasn't a good showing. In fact, it was slaughter. I uploaded it onto a different website instead of YouTube at the end because yeah, it was bad. It was bad. It was absolute destruction. They probably never want to see it again. But yeah, I do think that obviously Binary Dragons much higher tier team, or at least a bit of a higher tier team than EPG, and we're going to see whether or not EPG can have a similar sort of performance. They've gone straight for Kevlar in this round, so obviously feeling pretty confident. They've got a new player in Nickelback as well, who I think actually came over from the Academy, so this is a bit of a kick in the teeth. It's like, I've left you, now I'm going to try and beat you, which well, it means he'll know how they play and vice versa, and because of that, we actually have, I think, a Finn in the lineup in Moonshine, and Flash, who's coming as well for Bass. So let's see how this team actually sets up now. Nothing happening so far in this round, just some early setup. We've got a little bit of utility as well onto Femvicious and Flash. A couple of smokes, likely to just try and section off the site a little bit and allow them to get a bomb down. Other than that, it's actually a very slow round. T's just sitting pretty, hoping for some aggression. The problem is the CT side are already playing a retake strategy over towards this B side of the map, and it should set them up wonderfully to have a beautiful crossfire in this spot already. A couple of kills coming in for Nickelback. Elian is around the spot as well. The boost position has negated a lot of these smokes, and it isn't going very well. A couple of frags will come back the way of the T side, and actually Rommy's brought it into a 2v2. Somehow, even with all of the players here, really isn't the best situation now. Ramp going to be coming round from Romy as well, which, well, it's unlikely they'll expect this. I don't think there's anybody at all watching this angle. Hooch is the most likely to try and take the turnaround. Romy, it's all about timing here. If he just walks around, this should be an easy frag. Simple stuff. Nickelback very low on HP, down to just 22. Actually has to ace the round to win it, and Flash will be there to finish. Wonderful round from these two at least. The other three just getting demolished by the pistol of Nickelback. But T.S.Academy will manage to squeeze that one out. I don't think their utility made any difference at all. But, hey, that's something at least. Push going to be coming out. Peek in. Nickelback will be there to start, but That UMP is quickly removed, and the force buy... Oh, it's already lost its most valuable weapon. Flash gets his second of the round, already getting 2 for 2 in the last couple. Fly? What can he do with this CZ? So far, not so good, and Hooch will look to go in turn. Another comes in as well, and it's somehow all down to Romy. 1 versus 2. The rifle's actually losing at the moment. The peak going to be coming out onto the ladder. A MAC-10 picked up by Fly. Definitely not the ideal weapon in this scenario, but it's something at least. Romy peeks around the corner, and there's no possibility for a trade just yet, but nice shot from Spaze. The man who I'm definitely considered to be the best player in the server at the moment, and he will get himself the kill and the round for EPG. Going to be coming out from Elian. Nice start. It is the force buy-in from the T side. And Elian going to continue his push forward. Just doing work at the moment. Just absolutely slaughtering anybody who tries to come into his crosshair. And Vicious forced out as well. And it's not going to be a breakback. Moonshine needs to pull off an absolute miracle. And it will be 2-1 for EPG. Likely that we're only going to have some pistols going into this next round. And, wow. It's looking pretty good so far, other than what happened in the pistol when they got broken back. T-side, unfortunately, not going to be able to invest too much. Hey, Dizzy. Cetrock, that's horrifying. Opinions on Nickelback. The band or the player? The player, I think he's alright. Still think he's got a long way to go. That nade is going to be absolutely filthy in a second from Hooch as well. Denies the plant. That would have been a good round, in fact, from the T side if they managed to get that bomb down. However, because of it, it's just going to be happening. Flawless for the CT side. Won't lose a single player. Already got, well, a minimum of 5,000 in the bank, which is incredible going into round number 5. And T's are at least going to have themselves a purchase. Not bad on utility, at least. Moonshine actually gets a Molotov in, so I'll be interested to see where that's thrown out. And CT side actually just going to go for a bit more of a bonus round. It does look like Fly may have upgraded. Yeah, he's gone for a rifle instead. So that's a little bit of cash lost out on, but not the end of the world. And we'll see whether or not Hooch can do work with the Scout and Nickelback. To be fair, he's playing Pop Dog, so that MP9 should be absolutely fine for him. Going to be coming out on the B site already. They will actually entry onto Elian, and Hooch is gone as well. He does manage to take one at least. And now the CT side, is it really worth pushing back in? Femvicious has picked up 3 kills already in this round. Maybe they took the wrong player from Team Spirit Academy, as Nickelback now has to prove why I'm wrong, I guess. AK-47. May just want to keep this into the next round, as Fly is a little bit low on cash. They will definitely have a purchase into the next round. It is looking like he is just going to save anyway. Keep the AK. Still the favoured rifle over both of the M4s. Do the one shot to the head. Possible? Oh, he is going to find Femvicious. Now he has to survive. That's going to be a little bit more difficult. There's multiple players pushing in, and he is going to take a couple with him. He at least makes things costly, but he won't be able to keep it. are you the only person watching this match because you bet on the match? Not because you bet on the match. I didn't bet on it. There you go. I'm technically watching the match. I'm not watching me commentate the match, but I am watching it. Ooh, double AWP straight in. Hooch and Elian. Elian brought into this roster to do this job, so we'll see if he can step up big. There isn't an AWP yet on the T side, mainly because they can't afford it. He's already taking over Pop Dog control. Did you know that it's difficult to observe and commentate at the same time? Nickelback. Pushing out. Forward aggressive, and he takes down 2 already. Luke will be able to trade at least, and it's going to be back to a 2 versus 3. There's still double AWP, so just going to be longer range battles. But Elian actually goes a little bit further aggressive than was necessary. Back to a 2 versus 2. Hooch will be able to pick up one more. He's been spotted out by Luke, who's just popping heads at the moment. Only Space stands in his way from the victory, and he's going to do it as well. 4 kills for Luke, 3 to 3, and it did take a massive play to pull them through that round. Now the CT side have a decision to make. They invested heavily in that round. They went for the double AWP setup. Looks like they are just going to opt to save. A few pistols will be dropped by Nickelback. Of course, he's probably going to want to get an AWP for one of his teammates in the next round. Hooch can probably still afford one as well, so it's not the end of the world. But definitely not the way they wanted that round to go. Now up close is going to be Hooch. He hears a lot of footsteps. Nobody sneaking. Luke is going to come around past. He actually goes down, so no heroics from him in this round. Nickelback has rotated onto the site, has the P250. They're doing a lot of damage. Space actually manages to find one as well. But somehow there's only 2 players left for the T side. Mistakes being made once again versus Pistols. Can they at least salvage the round? It's not looking likely. They've got to be careful from the flank as well, coming in from Elian. He doesn't have any armor, so he's going to be fairly vulnerable. And actually just falling back here is the right decision to make. Doesn't want to take any risks. Moonshine will at least be able to turn it back, but only into a 1 versus 3, and he's so low on health. 26 is all that remains. Nickelback will tap him down to just 13. But what can Moonshine do? Spots Hooch, but it's not happening. And I think it's rightly so that the T's are going to take themselves a pause, because that was a pretty atrocious round. It's interesting that it's more of a technical pause. Because from my perspective, the rounds that they've lost have actually been pretty atrocious. Like, you had this round here, which was purely based on one individual. So you don't want to sort of look at that and go, that was an amazing round. It was a great round from Luke. But for the rest of the team, you have to consider, okay, that really didn't go very well if one of your players has to get 4 kills for you to be able to win. The last round, 2 players had Kevlar. Everybody had some sort of upgraded pistol, I think bar 1, which was probably Elian, who was saving for an AWP. But I don't understand how they managed to lose that round, especially with such a basic push. Like, not even trading effectively, not really playing as a team either. They got caught out by going upper, which is a very open position to try and take battles with, especially when you have such a gun advantage. It just wasn't a good round. And to lose a round like that and lose the sort of, after winning the pistol as well, you do have to wonder a little bit whether or not this is going to be coming at all. Here we go. Elian, simple shot. As said, only some pistols invested into this round. Quite odd, though, because $900 is all that remains on Flash. So he can't buy in the next round. No matter what happens here, 1900, he can't buy in the next round. So they've gone for a sort of minor investment, maybe hoping to save up some extra cash when they do go into their buy round. And, well, Fly's gone. The Deagle is going to peek over the top. Nickelback realizes where the shots have come from, but it's too little too late. His teammate's already dead. Could at least make things costly here. I'm praying for the sake of all Counter-Strike that they don't manage to actually steal this round away. Elements lost to TS.Academy. Was it the same roster, though? Because Nickelback only recently actually switched teams, so I wonder if that may have been the previous roster. I think it probably would be. Ivy push coming in. Peek out. Elian doesn't really need to re-peek this, and he's not going to. Takes the man advantage. I don't know how many players he actually spotted there. I think he may have seen 2. He's actually going to go back to a much more passive position. Nickelback's still going to be holding from the back, and he sprays down 2 players, leaving it all onto just 1, and Flash will eventually fall. So at least 3 players surviving for the CT side. They do manage to build up a small amount of money, and Nickelback already has $10,000, 14 and 5. As said, the newbie to the team, the man added in as a replacement, and he's doing a very good job so far. Definitely, I have to say the first match I saw of him, I wasn't overly impressed, but definitely look better. Aggressive push out. Moonshine will at least be able to get 1, but the likelihood is... Okay, I was going to say it'll be an easy round for the CT side. I was completely wrong. Moonshine has just turned this on his head, already getting himself 3 kills, and it's come down to a 1v1. Moonshine, the man who's just had a star round. Oh, is he going to get dunked down? Okay, 9 HP. Can Hooch save this? I shouldn't even have to say that. The answer is no. What a round from Moonshine. That's ridiculous. T-side now get quite a boost to their economy. And the C... Has that actually happened? They've all hit 0. I don't think I've ever seen that before. That's something new. Might F5 that one. Get myself a cheeky little screenshot, because I don't think I've ever seen any team just completely hit 0 before. Let's see. Can the CT side actually rectify this? Because so far, both teams have been making massive mistakes. Elian will find the first Hooch. Very good position to deny anything and sprays down 2 through the smoke. The T's, they can do it with CZs, or maybe just 1. Seems like they've been completely wrecked trying to go towards B. Nice shot from Luke with the AWP. Haven't really seen him with the AWP yet, and could make a big difference. This would have to be a pretty impressive comeback in this round. The bomb is down on ramp. 4 players already over towards this B side of the map. He's going to be waiting above. Flashbang does leave him completely blind, and Luke does manage to entry back. Only a 1-man difference now. Can they actually get a second? Romy peeks in with another, and a second as well. It's all down to Hooch versus Luke, but Luke goes running in. Doesn't check any of the angles. They've actually spotted out Hooch multiple times, and what was a 5 versus 2 right back in. Very, very close. But Hooch will save it for his team. 6-4. This game has just been almost silly so far. Now, T-side wants to... Okay, what? They go from investing nothing to now buying an orb? I don't even think they know what they're doing at this point. It just seems like random buys all across the board. And decisions being made way too late. You have a pause. Take a tactical pause if you want to decide whether you want an AWP. I feel like just going for somewhat a mix by one guy on 0. That's a nice shot from Moonshine, though. He will at least pick up the first. Luke actually gets the second. If this buy works, EPG need to take a pause and just question what has just happened. Luckily, they do have Nickelback. He's still going strong at the moment over towards this electric box. He is only going to get 2, so it's still a man advantage at the moment. Elian versus Luke in this AWP battle, but there's the peek from behind. Romy going to close him down, and now Hooch has a much more difficult clutch to try and win. First player low. Nade can go out. He's actually going to manage to get himself further onto the site, but it's a 3-pronged defense of this bomb. There shouldn't be any way he gets back into this position, especially with the tag, and Femvicious will even close him down at the end. What a ridiculous round. Now they win one with a UMP, a Deagle, and an AWP. Just ridiculous. Can't really turn auto director off if I'm casting and trying to do all of the observing. So, no. CT side with next to nothing in the bank at the moment, but they are going to just go aggressively pushing, and they've walked into the blender as well. Elian at least trying to close one down, but it isn't going to happen. Nickelback, the only man remaining. Shouldn't be able to get anything here, and he won't. 6-6. Team Spirit Academy will even things up once again. And the CTs still can't really buy. Didn't even buy the imp, they picked it up. Oh yeah, because it was probably the player pushing into main. Couple of nades poured up to try and do some early damage as they all go rushing towards this A main position. Moonshine in a decent spot to just try and mow them down. Playing much more passively, waiting for them to push in, and it is just going to be a mow down. FaZe at least manages to get one, just trying to lurk around the back, but Luke is there. Finish him off. Hooch. Can he at least take one? I think that's what he has to aim for in this round. Take a player. If he can retrieve a weapon, great. But anything more than that, it's just not going to happen. Doesn't really have anything worth saving. And the T's aren't using SMGs, so it's not worth just sort of hiding to make sure they don't get any extra cash of your death. As they're probably going to have enough money to buy into the end of the game anyway now. Or not end of the game, end of the half. Hooch is rotating back. Already the angle's being held though, and Romy will close the round. So, 7-6. Team Spirit Academy actually turned this round quite well, considering some of the rounds they've actually lost early on. I think it was this round where they almost lost to a full eco, just a couple of pistols. And, yeah, then they've managed to string a few together, win one with pistols themselves, and pretty much saved the half for themselves. EPG, like, I have to say, both teams have looked pretty poor. Different occasions, but see if their CT side can at least rectify the half. I think they need to win the half. Nice shot from Hooch. They've got that double orb set up back in. He is the only man towards the site, and he's playing fairly aggressive as well, so he goes down. There isn't going to be much more defense, but they will rotate Fly over. Fly's having an absolute nightmare at the moment. 1-11. Smokes thrown out by the CT side. We'll keep them that man advantage for a little bit longer. You can see the T's just completely spread all over the map at the moment, just maybe waiting for any sort of aggression that the CTs will throw in. They don't really have to at this point. A map like Train is definitely one where you can play off that man advantage, especially when it comes to, for example, retaking B. quite going to be able to catch the peeking player. But there's only 35 seconds left, so they are going to have to make their move pretty soon. Pop dog control taken. But I think they've been heard. Fly actually going to go pushing in. This is all the information that is needed from the CT side. Now the rotation can come in as well from the other players, leaving it with every single player on the A site. Only one man to push back in. It will be Flash. He's got 15 seconds. And the Flash may be fast, but I don't think he's going to be that quick in finishing off every single player. In fact, the CT side will win a flawless round, which that's pretty much exactly what this game has been. Betting on who is going to win this is random, I feel. And seeing them win a flawless round like that so convincingly after what we've witnessed moments ago is just crazy. Minus Fly plus Nickelback. How are you planning on working that one out when they're both in the team? Unless the Nickelback move isn't permanent, but then I don't know why he'd be playing against his old team if he's not confirmed. Pooch. Starts things off again. 2 rounds in a row now. He's got the pick with the AWP. And again, the second he gets that pick, they just throw out some utility and slow things down a bit. Make sure the T's can't quickly trade, because it's so much easier to get back into a round. If you can just get that pick quickly, you can fall back into some level of strategy. Instead, they're just having to rush things, and you can see them running straight out onto the B side. This is the fake. This is the elaborate ruse, and Elian's actually going to miss another shot. He started to miss quite a few. Flash, in fact, will close him down. It is still going to be trades, but it's actually the T side coming out completely on top in this round. Hooch, now the only one left alive. Spamming with the dig, spots Romy, gets one, tries to turn around, doesn't have any bullets, is just dancing for his life. And Moonshine, he doesn't like dancing. He doesn't like dancing. It will be 8-7. Team Academy. Actually, a pretty good comeback considering how things were going. And to win the half on the T side is definitely a good stead going into this one. We didn't really get to see much of their CT side versus Binary Dragons because they got spanked so hard. I'm hoping for good things because they've let this map go through again. A lot of teams, after you see a destruction of that sort, would try and move away from this map. But, yeah. Fly, still. 1 kill and a half is not really excusable. I think he definitely needs to step up going into this T side. I don't think that's any next level analysis either. I think he'll feel it himself. Flash is going to go for the kit. Hooch has a minute amount of utility, and because it's only a smoke and a Molotov, you expect it to be that B push. Now, personally, I like to see the smoke into the connector. It's likely he'll save it for the after plant, and Flash already has, as said, a smoke ready as well. Up close, we are going to see Femvicious, just waiting. The T's now going to look to explode out, but they've already rotated a couple of extra players in, though, and this is just patience. Not shooting, but Femvicious, he waits a little bit too long. He lets them jump down, and that's where the Glock is going to have the advantage up close. He hears them all, but it doesn't matter because Elian will catch him, and now it is all on to Flash. The man with the kit gets a second headshot. At least doing a little bit of damage. Been spotted, though. And eventually Elian will be there to finish off this round as well. So 8-8. It will be EPG able to equalize. Now, obviously, we saw the pistol won by the T side previously in a quick return. CT side are going to be fully investing into this. And there's actually only one rifle. Heavy into SMGs, so... why didn't he shoot? I would imagine it's one of those things where it's like he's trying to get as much as he can out. So he was hoping they wouldn't check the angle at all, and then he could have got maybe 2 or 3 kills just from the flank. Instead, they turn around and he just gets absolutely ruined. It's sort of one of those playoffs. It's like, the more time he waits, the chance is higher that he could get a lot of kills. Or even deny a bomb plant. However, there's also the higher risk that they'll spot him. So he went a little bit too far over the line. The threshold was gone. Look at this. Luke. Aggressively. There is a man waiting. Fly. Holding the angle. But actually, Luke's going to win the duel. Decent start, but already the T's have made their move. The problem is now they have to worry about Pop Dog, an angle that they didn't think they'd have to be checking this early into the round. However, Nickelback is still going to pick up the frag. Spaze is going to continue things, meaning Luke, well, we expected to see that flank coming out from him. So did the T's. Not actually going to push in, but Romy will, and he gets two quickly. Maybe a third as well. Romy's just gone absolutely huge, and now somehow Hooch is sat in this position yet again where he's going, guys, you've left me in about 6 clutches this game. It should have been an easy after-plant position. Now, the CTs don't have a kit. So really, they need to find him. That has to be it. They need to find him, or somebody needs to get onto the bomb. They need to be watching. Luke does, and that will be the round. CT side just about managing to steal it away. And that's a really sort of poor round. Again, the T side, 4v2. After plant position, and they get taken down by one man. The fact is, Luke wasn't even on... Luke was on the B side when Romy pushed in and get 3 kills. That should not happen. It should not happen at all. 9-8. Both teams now with similar situations where winning the pistol on that T side, losing the next. Still, 4 rifles in for the T's. Actually not that bad a buy at all. The back 10s did make them quite a bit of extra cash. They have had to drop head armor, which is going to make them far more vulnerable to the FAMAS. 2 M4s as well. Spaze left only onto a Deagle. Now, in a sense, I can see some of you guys saying it's like, oh, maybe the guy who's not doing too well should drop in the weapon. I actually don't mind seeing Spaze on a Deagle because Spaze is a beast with the Deagle. So it sort of balances out. He's also not having the best game either. 10 and 12. He's the guy I expect to be at the top of the board for this team. Obviously had a spell and Gambit alongside Hooch, but here we go. Pushing out onto the site. Ambitious. There we go. Double already. Looking for more. Trying to be the catalyst on the site. Gets a third. Has support from Luke. And this is a complete shutdown. Not a single frag comes in for the T side after fully investing. 10 rounds now for Spirit Academy, and this is the one that they're going to get for free, or should get for free. I don't want to say too much because so far we've seen a lot of very sketchy plays from both of these teams. God, that spray wasn't pretty. Ambitious. We'll get both kills. Obviously, CT side, just want to keep everybody alive here. That's the main aim. Spaze actually hits the dink. Maybe with the old P250 that would have worked, but... yeah, not anymore. Not anymore. 11-8. T side will have themselves another bye. Honestly... I'm hoping Team Spirit Academy, they've had their problems, and this is where they'll be like, okay, now we've got some stability. This is where we'll show you why we wanted this map, why we had 3 bans, both teams had 3 bans, and this is where we ended up. If not, then I wonder if both teams have just banned each other's strengths and we've ended up here, because neither has looked particularly good so far. It has to be said. Now, when it comes down to it, the points are all that matters, and the CT side, they've got so much information. They've got all the information. They've completely cleared out Ivy. A quick rotation coming in from Luke. He's going all the way back. They've already sent a third player over towards this B site as well. And this is exactly where the T's are going to be pushing it. So they have everything needed to win this round. However, Fly, he finally steps up onto the board. He gets the entry alongside Hooch. The rotations seem to be a little bit too slow. A 3v4. Still doable. Definitely still doable. Especially with Rommy's position. He snuck very far forward. Not spotted out at all. He will take down Nickelback. Still a man flanking as well. Hooch, if he wins this duel, the round should be over. And that should be it now. Rommy, he has a kit, but he's so low on HP. Actually has to ace the round to win. Unless somehow he manages to ninja defuse. And it's not going to happen. Space is there to close things out. And this is the exact sort of representation. Wow, English is difficult. I should take up a different first language instead. But yeah, this is a sort of interesting representation of when everything seems to be going the way of T.S.Academy. They have the information, they have the weaponry, they're set up, and they just get wrecked. And it's unfortunate. I do think maybe if they hadn't gone for the aggressive Ivy push, they might have had more players there a little bit quicker, but they still had 3 players on the site and didn't really do much damage to the T side at all. So 11-9. Leading the charge. I'm liking this from him. Entry frag it, and he's doing a great job of it as well. This is still a buy. Rommy gets 1, but Nickelback, he's acting like a rock star right now. Already 3 kills. CT side, I think they just have to save. I don't want to be going anywhere near this guy. A bit like the band, in fact. I don't want to be going anywhere near the band either. I feel like I may have exhausted all of my Nickelback jokes in one round, but either way, Fly will add 1 to his score now. He's up to 5. 5 alive. And Flash is going to be the only one left. Hey, yo, kangaroo. I'm good. Still sort of getting over the cold a little bit, but it's definitely not as bad as it was. Flash. See, he's being patient here. Getting the kill sort of further towards where the bomb goes off. Making sure there isn't a second player. Close. And Hooch is just going to go running. He wants this kill. He doesn't want to allow him to keep the weapon. There's no way they're stopping him at this point. B. 10-11. Quick pause. Guessing it wasn't a tactical. Stabilized at golden over 2. That is a long grind. Yeah, I haven't played. I played a bit of matchmaking the other day, and I was absolute trash and got carried, so I'll take it. TT side, going basically for a bit of a jumble sale buy. It's like, okay, what can you afford without going under the 2k mark? Okay, that's what you can afford. Buy it. Does mean, I think it severely reduces the chance of them getting an AWP into the next round. Elian has his right now, and he's rattling off shots. Already finds the first. I do feel like he's a bit more hit and miss, which I suppose is this game. Either you hit or you miss. But he seems like someone who... He takes a lot of shots, but positions himself well enough that most of the time he doesn't die, which can actually work quite nicely. However, the CT side are somehow doing work again with the CZ. Femvicious has got 2 kills already. The M4, the most valuable weapon they have, hasn't actually done anything yet, so we'll see if Flash can now actually save the round for them. Him being the last one left into a 1v2 really isn't bad at all. Knows exactly, or knows roughly where Space is at the moment, so that gives him something. We'll actually get the first. Doesn't have a kit, so he has to do this very quickly. I think the best case scenario here, tap the bomb, and hope that Elian peeks. But the problem is he has absolutely no idea where he is. He has to do this very, very quickly indeed. Again, as said, doesn't have a kit. He does... Oh, everybody's been there. You go to tap the bomb. You're not quite close enough to the bomb. And then the player peaks. So, a little bit of bad luck. 11-11. But the CTs, as said, that was just a round where they were trying to make enough money or save enough money to actually buy. They get it down to 1 player. That's not bad at all. Hey, is it Ties? I'm going to go with Ties. I'm very bad at remembering names. I apologize. MM is irrelevant. Yeah, it's a bit of fun. Yeah, long time no see. Long time no see. I don't know how long it's been, but it's been a long time. T-side are still going to have enough money to have a pretty solid buy. In fact, they've got everything. As said, still not really sure who's actually favored on this map anymore. It seems like both teams may have wanted to go in a different direction to this, because it's been questionable. Nice start from Elian, though. Just playing the patient game. Flash will go peeking, and now they can just play off that man advantage. This is where a team run by Hooch should be winning the round. And I know it's only 1 kill, but 3 to 4 days. Oh, so when you said long time no see, it really wasn't a long time at all. FaZe, I'm going to catch another one. And this is sort of where the patient in-game leader or the patient team wins the round. Because you have to sort of look at this and go, okay, the CT side, they need to get themselves back in. They need to get back into this round based off just that first pick. So there, if you play patient, the likelihood is they're going to be coming to you. It takes a very ballsy team to just try and take a 4v5 sitting back. So that kill makes things very, very easy. He's now just able to pick each of these players apart. Pretty simplistic stuff. And Luke! Both players just running into each other with knives out. They now know where he is, and he has an AWP. They're going to want to remove this. And they will. Spaze decapitates. He's starting to move up the borders a bit as well, which is always going to be important. As said, I still think that this guy can be the star of the team, or is the star of the team. Hooch shouldn't necessarily be at the top. Nickelback, the new boy on the block, so yet to really know. Either of these teams well-known or successful. They've got some well-known players. Obviously, Hooch, Spaze, quite well-known. I know if I've known like about Luke for quite a while. I think I've seen him in a lot of mixed teams. But I wouldn't say either of these are like groundbreaking top tier teams yet. Still a long way to go. 12 to 11. CT side economy. It's in the same position as last time, except they're buying down lower. The good thing about this is, though, is at least, like, if they had stolen that round away and then won it back, their loss bonus would be completely gone. Instead, they're still making a lot of loss bonus. Although, I suppose they probably would have still wanted to win the round. 12 to 11. Getting right down to crunch time. And it does look like out of both teams, EPG are starting to get their rhythm. Especially considering those 4 rounds they've strung in a row is the most rounds we've seen in a row this game. It's been so back and forward. The maximum we've seen previously is 3. However, these pistols have been pretty deadly. Romy is going to be waiting back. It looks like he's waiting for a flash. There is no flashbang, so nobody can flash him in. Shine. Been excellent with this CZ. I have to say, that's something you got to give this guy. And here's the new man in the team. Fly. Actually, going to have to take that because Hooch is just running past. He doesn't care. He's going. He's on the site. It doesn't matter what happens behind him. And now this is where it should be over, but Luke actually manages to pick one up. And actually, Romy's got a rifle as well. Elian connects the crossing player. Still got a little bit of extra weaponry. And as I said, they've got a lot of money coming in next round. 3,400 loss bonus. So I would want to see them go for this. Why not? No point saving a scout. Absolutely no point. There's no way Luke's keeping that into the next round. Maybe they're just trying to make things costly. Bit of an interesting battle, but Romy will win it. And I guess Romy just really wants to keep that AK-47. A 2v3 when it's this close. I'm a little bit disappointed they didn't go for something here, but oh well, both players are going to save. Luke hoping that a weapon will be pushed his way, and it will. That's a little bit of luck going the way of TS.Academy. However, they are still 2 rounds down, and now we get to see that heavy investment. Or comfortably be bought if they want it, which they don't. They're actually going to stick with the rifles for now. I think Luke will be able to buy one in the next round anyway if they keep the loss bonus going. Fly, considering he only got 1 kill in the first half, has started to at least pull his weight a little bit, but it seems like some of the other players have slowed down a bit. I think Moonshine definitely hasn't had the same sort of impact. Molotov going to go in. They're going very aggressive in this round, and Spaze will say thank you very much. If you want to hand me kills at the beginning of rounds, I will take them all day long. Make things a little bit easier for me. However, there is going to be a quick trade, which is something we mentioned before. The phase plow at New York was scary. Not losing a map and the rating of Nico was madness. Like, the lowest rating he got was, like, what everybody else getting the MVP averaged. I think his rating was, like, 1.7 at the end, like, average. And everybody else who got MVP was, like, 1.3 max. He had a ridiculous tournament. But the whole team was just incredible. That's, like, sort of peak performance level. Like, if they play like that, they're pretty much unstoppable, but... well, unstoppable at least. Against maybe someone like Liquid. I don't know. I think if you saw SK at peak versus FaZe at peak, you could see the greatest series of all time. Here we go, though. T side looking to try and push into this B side. There are a few players waiting. Are they going to check the corner? Of course they're going to check the corner, but the flank from Luke is well timed. He gets 2 kills, a 3rd kill for Luke. Another big round coming in from him. And he will even pick up a 4th once more. Moving himself further up the board. Romy currently still top 25 and 16. Yeah, no, the Liquid team definitely looks exciting. I just think that they, even if all of their team hit their sort of highest peak, I don't think they could have topped FaZe at their top peak. That's the scariest thing about that team. I think JDM summed up. He was like, he said, I don't even feel like I was playing bad. It was just that they were playing too good. Which, that's just scary. Because every player, when they lose a tournament, goes, oh, I feel like we didn't play our own game. I think that we can do much better. We would have beaten them on our deck. But JDM was just like, nah, they were better. There was nothing I could do. I respect that, if anything. Here we go, though. 13 to 12. Both teams actually not that great on economy at the moment. Obviously, a little bit cheaper for the T's to buy in anyway. Nice entry from Moonshine, but it is just going to be traded out by Space, pushing into main. Still 2 players over towards this A side of the map. Robbie's going to have a lot of work to do. Only a trade, but it's better than nothing. Flash. Sat on the side. Actually gets 1 and a 2nd as well. And now Elian, who is pretty much saving up, or setting up, I should say, for the bomb plant, is left to try and clutch and will fail. 13-13. Really hasn't been a clear victor in this game. It haven't even really been streaks. It's been 5. That's the max we've seen. And even that was very, very close. Like a couple of 1v1s in there. B-side now with nothing. They're going to have plenty of money in the next round. They could even get a double AWP on the T side if they really wanted to. I'm kind of hoping they don't. Nade. Actually going to do any damage. Seemed pretty close to Nickelback, but I guess he managed to get around the door just in time. Pop push. Be the main form of attack from this T side. And this is all just a bit of an elaborate ruse. Here comes the peek out, but the mow down, well, should have come in, actually. Fly manages to take down Romy. Actually gets the 2nd as well. Maybe this is the awakening of Fly. Having a fly up. Nickelback still takes the head off Moonshine. This guy has been really good in this game. Been impressed. It made things very costly, considering the investment. Have to remember they barely invested anything into this round. Now they get a decent amount of loss bonus going in, 2,400, and they are going to have plenty of money going into this next round, and the chance to do even more damage to the CT economy going into the last few of the game. We go though. T side going for a little bit of upper B control. Smoke will be thrown out by TS.Academy. Again, Luke all the way out. And it's going to force a quick rotation. They are very good at finding all this information out. There's going to be 3 players once again on the B side. Can they rectify what happened last time? It looks like they can. already getting themselves a couple of kills. Flash is going to do the work as well. 2 for him. And leaves it on to Elian. He hasn't looked like a sort of star or more just hitting. I was going to say some of the more important shots. He does manage to get himself one. Now, if the CT side make mistakes and push into him here, there's a chance he can win. However, jumping down, there shouldn't be any chance he gets this kill, but Romy makes a mistake. Gives him an opening. However, Luke slams the door shut. 15 to 13. Now the T's. What looked like their stabilization actually gonna continue the way that the game has gone. Now they have to force. Will actually be able to cross. First pick goes his way. Flash is trading with the nade. There will be a shot from Luke. Up above is going to be Elian. What can he do here? He needs to do something big. Looking for the head of Luke, but not hitting the shot. And it will be ended by Team Spirit Academy. A very sketchy affair. A much closer game than it probably shouldn't have been, with both teams making large amounts of mistakes. But the important thing is, at least for Team Spirit Academy, they come out with the victory. That is the first game done. We do still have more from EPG coming up next, but they have got a tougher opponent still with Binary Dragons, who, in the last match we saw, they just 16-1'd the team that just beat EPG. Either way, guys, we are going to be back after a short break. If you enjoyed the cast, exclamation mark caster will take you where you need to go. And make sure you don't go anywhere, because BD, they may be about to slaughter EPG if they play in any similar style to what we've just witnessed.